Hey, Dr. Haider, good to see you. How are you?
I'm great. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. You're in um, Puerto
Puerto
Rico,
Rico.
right? Puerto Rico. Okay. Great, great,
Hmm.
great, great. Hey, thanks for joining. I think, as I had mentioned, this 50s Nifty is actually a non-profit organization, and it's mainly for the midlife folks. And what I have seen, and I'm sure you've seen also, we see a lot of senior citizens centers. We also see a lot of youth centers, but we don't see many midlife centers or talk about that, which is actually the age where people should be most proactive to go towards the senior life. And I mean, that's what we want to call midlife, not as a crisis, but more like calibrate to celebrate kind of thing.
Hmm.
And health is a big area during midlife people should be thinking about. And you are a champion on that, as I understand. So would like to get some of your thoughts on that.
The United States has the worst health in the world now. It is really bad. And we have 4 out of 5 people coming down with a stroke, 48% of the people diagnosed with heart disease. We have about 4 out of 5 people coming down with cancer now. On and on and on. It is, 14% of the people coming down with kidney disease.
Right.
And it is a monster, and a lot of people have, I find it very interesting. A lot of them are hooked into some very bad habits, and this is all self-created. There's no doubt about that. If we changed a few things, we could change and get healthy. Absolutely. Yeah, the UK used to have the worst health, and now they've changed. They're better than us.
Europe.
So some big changes are happening around the world. No, I think it's very important that, and especially as people get older, you just had a client this morning, and we forget that our emotions are also tied into everything. And what our limbic system, which is also in our brain, every time we have a negative emotion, it may create some negative changes in our body. And it also interacts with the vagus nerve, which interacts with every organ in our body. So we get abruptly change the limbic system, and it goes into disruption. And so this is a real challenge. A lot of people, oh, your mind and body are separate now. They're one. And we have 26% of the people in the United States with psychiatric disease, and there's about that many more or more who have mental problems going on, as you notice with all the shootings and things going on in the world. Not good. And a lot of people think, oh, what you think, it doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does.
No, no.
Every, hmm,
Yeah, I think, like you said, the mind and body both need to be in sync, and that's part of the whole healthy body and healthy living.
hmm. And so, they just have a new lawsuit going against Instagram about, coming down with problems with kids with depression and, even leading to them hurting themselves, which is not good. We are too connected to these devices, and we're not really living life, which is one thing also. And we are out of balance, way out of balance. And people don't exercise, they don't eat right, they don't think right, and the whole process is all interconnected. And so it's very, very, very important. Even with the process of water, most of the water in the world is super toxic now. In the last 3 years, I have had more toxic water people than I ever saw in the last 30 years. And this, I've seen people with low platelets, with uh, high platelets to the point where they have to take blood for them every week because they have, very high platelets, and this is really not good. I had a lady in Denmark do that, and we finally did get her back to normal. But that's very, very important. People with cystic acne, and they wonder why they have the cystic acne, but we know we're taking in all kinds of hormones through eating, dairy products, which are filled with estrogen, and also, things like beef, which are filled with estrogen, chicken, and all these different things. And we wonder why our hormones are way out of whack. And we have huge problems. And also our adrenals are going crazy. We have adrenal fatigue because of all this negative thinking that we're doing. It's all interacting with each other. So I think it's really, really important that we find a center balance of some kind. And a lot of people are really resisting. And I think it's there's got to have to be some changes happen in the world. We keep fighting with everybody. We have to come to a place of peace, within ourselves first, in order to have peace in the world. And I don't see that happening so far, as you notice what the world situation is right now.
Right.
So I think that's very, 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 very important. So, a lot of people have to forgive, move on. Traumatic things happen to everybody. There's no doubt about that. We just had our little, we went to California to visit some friends. Our son was taking care of her dog, and they were on a walk, and she got loose, got hit by a car, and died. What can I do? You just have to forget, move on. And
Yeah,
we miss her. There's no doubt about that. But but to allow that to go around your head forever and be angry, that's a spiral into really, destroying the body and the mind. There's no doubt about that, for sure.
right.
But a lot of people also have a very imbalance in a lot of the probiotics in their body, which is a huge thing. Also, I'd say 99% of the people in the world have very little probiotics. And this also changes, the hypothalamus, amygdala, pituitary, and put out more serotonin and dopamine, so we're happier. And it's also our immune system at the same time, because those bacteria, which should be 800 million trillion good bacteria, actually, when there was an invader, a virus or bacteria or anything else come in, they go, hey, look at this, we got a problem, and put the little chemical tracer out to, the bone marrow, or going to the thymus or other places, and the antibodies and killer cells, T cells, and all these things start interacting. So that gut is really super important. And we don't have the good bacteria in our gut because of antibiotics or bad water or eating badly, which is not good. I have 36% of the people eat fast food in the United States 3 times a day. Really terrible. And we wonder why we're sick, And then about that much again, eat it once or twice a day. And this is the monster. Plus, GMOs. There was an article in the New York Post this last weekend showing that almost all the military service people are either obese or overweight, and they say it has something to do with maybe the GMOs that we're eating, which is not good.
You said the military. You said the military people, or
yeah, military people.
Oh.
And this is a big problem also. So we need to get some good probiotics into our body and feed them right. And one of the best ways to feed good bacteria is to take cooked green bananas, totally green, cook them and eat them. And they're full of what's called resistant starch. And that feeds the good bacteria so they thrive and go into billions and billions and billions. Also, things like sauerkraut and kimchi also help. Kimchi has over 400 different species of good bacteria. Sauerkraut about 200 and something. And we tend to think that our gut bacteria are not important, but they're one of the most important things there is, because it controls everything in our whole body, absolutely positively. So we got to get back on track. There's no doubt about that, for sure. I find that a lot of people think that we can take a supplement or something, our nerve, and make up for good nutrition. No.
Yeah, supplements
you can't
is a big...
heal what you can't be. the body can't heal itself if it doesn't have nutrients to do that.
Right, right.
It's very important that we have good nutrients. And, you know, when I was a kid growing up in the 50s, I was born in 1953, I didn't see autism. I didn't see, all kinds of skin diseases. I didn't see people with a lot of mental illness. I didn't see, people having all kinds of problems that we see today. It
Right.
wasn't there. And so it really, and we didn't see overweight people once in a great while. But now it's an epidemic in the United States for sure. And it's going around the world because we're spreading our influence of fast food around the world too. And that's really not good. Fast food is a monster. Plus, most of it is GMO. And also, it's full of fat, full of salt, and lots of saturated fat. And, what can I say? It really is going to kill us. There's no doubt about that. And we think about the almighty dollar before we think about the health and well-being of our own people, which
Right.
is not good. And corporations don't have a soul. They don't think about or have feelings about anything.
Agreed.
So we really need to go back to basics. When I was a kid growing up, we had a huge garden, and my dad got paid 75 cents an hour. So that we didn't have a lot of meat. That meat, back then we ate 50 metric tons a year. Now we eat 500 metric tons a year. Not good. And also there's about 13 different toxins in all the animal products, that. So, and if you watch the documentary, The Game Changers, you'll see all about that. I've watched this about 20 some time. And what I've been talking about for years. And also you have things like in dairy products, which are directly connected to cancer. And all these are directly connected to cancer. And that's why we have a huge amount of cancer going on now too. So we really need to go back to some basics and start eating more fruits, vegetables, grains, and beans. And also, there's no antioxidants found in meat products. All these things, and that's found in fruits, vegetables, grains, and beans. And also, there's no fiber found in, animal products. That's found in fruits, vegetables, grains, and beans. And the fiber is broken down to become short chain fatty acids like hydrolinic acid, uric acid, all these acids that heal your brain, heal your muscles, heal your joints, heal your heart. They heal everything. And we don't eat fiber. The average American maybe eats 20, 30 milligrams of fiber. Grams of fiber.
Yes.
And, there's a group of tribal people in Africa, the Hudson tribe, they're a gathering tribe. They eat 150 grams of fiber every day.
Oh, wow.
And they have over 2,000 species of good bacteria in their gut. And they basically hardly ever get sick. And so fiber. And we try to process everything to death so we don't have any fiber. And we wonder why we're constipated.
Gas and constipation, right?
Well, actually, gas is not a bad thing. Actually, even Dr. Greger said, one of the best things you can eat would be beans.
Beans,
If
right.
you eat a quarter of a can of beans, you will add 10 years to your life. I eat 2 cans of beans every day.
Oh, wow.
I plan to live to be 150. And also, excuse me. Also, it's very important that, you're not going to have gas after about 3 weeks. That's a big misnomer. Oh, we're going to have gas. You know what I mean? But that's not true. After a while, you don't have gas. I think that's really important because they're like, oh, I'm going to have gas. It's really not good for me and all this. And they have so much fear. It was really interesting. They told a lot of people, excuse me, I get a little water here.
Oh, sure. No, I think the body adjusts to the way you.
They told people, we're going to give you beans. And then they didn't give them beans and they ended up with gas. So it's a mind game going on. There's no doubt about it.
True.
And our mind and body interact for sure. And
Right.
then when you're lacking on antibiotics, I mean, excuse me, and we're taking a lot of antibiotics and we're not getting enough antioxidants.
Antioxidants, right.
Our body is in deficit, and we're eating all this fast food, and people were craving food all the time. I had one of my clients who goes, you know what? I started eating what you recommended. I don't think about food anymore, hardly. And I actually, before, was thinking about, as soon as I ate, I thought about the next meal, you know? And so that was like, wow, you're getting really saturated nutrients. Your body feels steady. You know what I mean? You feel satisfied and you feel good, and you can heal everything in your body. But if you're in a fast food, nation process going on, and you're getting a lot of calories, but you're not getting any nutrients, which is your body's going, I need something. I need to eat. I need to eat. And so, we have all these very fat people, and that's really not good. We can stop all of this, but in this United States, the money talks. That's the problem.
Yeah, agree. So do you think like organic food is better than we see a lot of organic vegetables in the stores? Are they any better than non-organic?
Oh, absolutely. If you're not eating completely organic, you're eating 2 to 3 pounds of toxic chemicals, including Roundup, every year. And those are interacting and causing cancer and a huge amount of problems. Also, plastics. Plastics are a monster. If you've been drinking out of plastic water bottles, you got about a ton of plastics in every cell of your body. And as you noticed, I use glass or stainless steel or ceramic. And we got to get away from plastic. Every fish in the ocean, every cell has plastic now. And this is causing a lot of cancers and the hormone disruptions because they create a xenoestrogen in the body. And so that's a real problem, and so we wonder why our hormones are way out of whack. Well, I can tell you why, because look around where you're at right now. How much is plastic?
Right. No,
Not
I
good.
agree. A lot of plastic bottles and all. I think you mentioned the water. What can be done differently? I think you said one is don't drink in the plastic bottle, but water itself, is it like um, normal tap water, or do it more clean it, or what should be done with the water to?
First, I would recommend getting, if you own your own house, some kind of tankless reverse osmosis water system, and that will give you nothing but pure H2O. Even kidney doctors recommend that. And so you end up, and you're going to get your trace minerals from supplements. I would recommend like chlorella. That'll give you all your trace elements. But you need pure water to begin with. If you don't have pure water, then that sucks. There's no doubt about that. Then you need to drink at least 2.5 quarts every day. I drink 1.5 gallons every day. I drink a lot of water. I had a good friend who didn't drink water. He was blood thickened up. He had a heart attack in a parking lot. I have a lot of people go, oh, I drink 1 cup a day. It's like, what? This is really not good, we need to drink water. And there's 37 million trillion enzymatic reactions in the body every second, and they all rely on water. And so we got to have a lot of good water going on all the time. And you have to start drinking water before you're thirsty, not after, because you're also dehydrated by that time. And also coffee and tea, those are dehydrated. That doesn't count. So you got to eat. I know herbal teas are fine. That's not a problem. But the caffeine actually dehydrates you. And we need to say, yeah, and I'm not going to say you can't have caffeine. A little bit is fine, but you really need to drink a lot of water, good water. And so it's really, really important. Also, start reading the labels. I mean, if you can't pronounce it or don't know what it is, don't eat it. You know what I mean? It's like, what? I can't even say that. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, I don't think you should put that in your body. You know what I mean?
I think lot of colors they put like M&Ms and other things. Those colors are not organic colors. I think those.
Oh no! I mean, all those are FDIC 40 or 20 and 30. All these uh, different man-made colors and chemicals, also the artificial flavors, artificial preservatives, sorbate, and so all the potassium sorbates and things like that, really not good. And we wonder why we're dying. You know what I mean? These are all really cancer-causing stuff. I don't care what the FDA says. This is really, really not good. We have to go back to basics. You know, I find it interesting. You walk in any drugstore and try to find something that doesn't have a chemical in it, in a way of food or anything, it's almost impossible. It is really. I'm looking around yesterday at a drugstore. It was like, wow, every single one of these have something not good. We've created a monster. That's all there is to it. Food is supposed to last a normal length of time. It's not supposed to sit there until I die and be good. That's
So I
not
think
normal.
right. But what you're saying is clean water and more vegetables, less meat is very important, right?
I have found with
a
my
lot of
clients,
fiber.
I have found with my clients, 1/3 of a teaspoon of any animal product will put you into inflammation for 30 days. 1/3 of a teaspoon of any animal product will put you into inflammation for 30 days. So this is not a part-way process. You got to give it up or be fine with it. I've been eating this way for a long, long time, and I feel fantastic. And I walk 10 miles a day, and I bench press 250. I just got through doing 250, 120 times. And I work out on the, rope climbing machine. I do 100 meters on a rope climbing machine. I do 5,000 meters on the rowing machine, and I work out on the heavy bag. Not bad for a 70 guy going on 71.
You don't look like look 70. So, and I think what you're saying is exercise is the second. I mean, after healthy eating, exercise is very important at this age to make sure.
Yeah. And a new study actually in Science Direct, lack of exercise is twice as deadly as heart disease, twice as deadly.
Right.
So we really need to step our game. When people get to my age, they sit in a rocket chair and don't move at all. That is really not good. And I think we need to change our ideas of what aging is. You can be vital and have lots of energy and get up and go and be clear-headed until you're 100. If there's a new documentary out on Netflix, it's called "Live to Be 100: Secrets of the Blue Zone."
Right.
And there's about 6 episodes,
Yeah.
and there's like Sardinia, Italy, some of the Greek Isles, Loma Linda, California. There are also, some of the little villages in Costa Rica, Okinawa, Japan, on and on. And they don't eat meat. They eat a ton of beans. Beans are one of the most life-giving things you can eat, like I said. And so there's living proof right there. These people live to be very old. Also, they have lots of social interactions with people. And a lot of people, I just got through with a client. She stays in her house, has no interactions with anybody. She's very depressed, very sad, and she's sick, and wonder why. So we're social beings.
Right.
And even dogs have a social life. They love to get together and play with each other. What is it? We need that interaction also. It's not normal, to sit alone by ourselves. We need, like in Sardinia, Italy, all the family there, the grandparents, the great grandparents, all these people, the great grandkids, and
together.
they're never alone.
Right.
Plus, their villages are set on a hillside. So in order to get to one part of the town to the next, you got to go up and down those hills.
A lot of walking.
Right. Yeah, a lot of walking, which is one of the best exercises you can do. Also, they're their houses were like 3 or 4 stories, so you got to go up and down stairs.
No
So
escalator.
they have built-in, aerobic exercise into their life. They don't really exercise, but they do a lot of gardening also, which is great. Studies show people live longer who garden. So, and also grounding, what I mean? We are so disconnected from Mother Earth. Studies show if you just put your feet in loamy soil or put it on the grass, there's a change that happens with discharging some and negative energy and getting connected to Earth. And people actually have bed sores heal up in no time that wouldn't heal before, and you just feel better and you start thinking better. And we are very disconnected. We're on asphalt all the time, or inside our houses, and we never take off our shoes and get into the go on the grass or even lay down in the grass, heaven forbid.
Nature. Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of scientific studies showing that this does work, absolutely positively. So that costs nothing. What's that cost you? Going outside for a while.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. And also a lot of cultures, like I said, they grow their own food. Sardinia, Italy, they make minestrone soup every day. You know what I mean? And that's everything. Minestrone basically came about by this is what we got in the garden. We're going to use it today.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
It's available. Why not make the food from there? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And actually, there was a man. He was from one of the Greek Isles, and a little village. They lived to be over 100. He went to California. He got a big house, got the family, big business. He was very successful. And the doctor told him, you got pancreatic cancer. You're going to die in 6 months. 2 other doctors told him the same thing. And then he said, "Oh, I don't want to die here. I want to go home." So he went
Right.
back to the little village on the Greek Isles, and he decided, well, I want to put in a little vineyard for my wife, and when I'm gone, she can have it. So he started putting in grapes, and they started making their own wine. And 2 years later, he's still there.
Yeah.
5 years later, he's still there.
Right.
31 years later, he's still
Wow.
alive and doing well.
Yeah.
So our lives are not living the epitome of what is possible. There's no doubt about that. We're out of bounds. Mm-hmm.
Right. And any herbs or anything which are useful, would you say, or for holistic living?
Pardon, what was that again?
Like any herbs, supplements, or holistic living, would you recommend anything there? Or
Supplements, you mean?
herbs, yeah, or supplements.
You know what? I took a few vitamins and minerals, and I took chlorella, which has all your essential proteins, your non-essential proteins, your vitamins, minerals, trace minerals. It is one of the best things you can take. I take 3,000 milligrams of now brand chlorella every day. It's a freshwater algae. It has more protein than a steak. A steak only has 25% protein. It has 50% protein. And you basically could live on chlorella if you wanted to. That's CHLORELLA. And I like the Now brand because I like the Now brand in general because it's a family-owned company. Another one I really like supplement-wise is the good old turmeric. We have about 12 new articles about the efficacy of turmeric come out every year. It helps with pain, boosts up your immune system, keeps away cancer. It's just amazing. It also helps with a huge amount of things. I've had people with terrible pains just start taking, lowers your blood sugar. They start taking, an average teaspoon every day. A lot of things disappeared. So turmeric is very cheap. You can buy it in, a Costco in a bottle for hardly anything, and it does a great job.
Right. We use it in lots of vegetables, right? So turmeric is used a lot. So,
yeah, in India where it really began, you know what I mean, and the curries and everything.
Right.
My dad was from India. We've had curry forever.
No.
I have to say, India has lost some of its understanding of what it used to have. You know what I mean? Also, meditation is super important. We live in an age where we're overwhelmed with too much information. Every day we're bombarded by 20, 30 times what we normally would have in 100 years. And it's overload. We can't take it.
Right.
Yeah, I have 3 millionaire friends, and they all do 3 hours of meditation every day. And meditation is so simple. It's just closing your eyes, breathing and concentrating on your breath, and in and out, in and out. A little thought comes in, you go, I see that, but not now. Go back to your breathing. And there are 700 things that happen in the body when you do meditation. And I think a lot of people really don't understand that we're in overload, sensory overload. There's no doubt about that. And we need to find that inner peace. And watching TV doesn't bring that.
Social media and TV.
I do 2 hours of meditation every day.
Oh,
And really, first thing in the morning and the last thing before bed. And, you know, my dad died of a stress-induced heart attack in 57. Stress will kill you. There's no doubt about that. And I found myself really stressed out, like feeling like an elephant was sitting on my chest. And I decided to go have a treadmill done. And the doctor goes, wow, you're stronger than I am. I think you got a little stress going on. That's when I decided to change my life. And that's when I got into meditation that many years ago. And I would rather give up eating than give up my meditation every day. So that's very, very, very important. Actually, if everybody in the world did meditation every day, we wouldn't have wars.
you're
There's
right.
no doubt about that.
Agree.
Yeah, because you finally understand that everything is interconnected. And I remember, I used to live in Monterey, California. I was sitting on the beach there. I was doing meditation. And all of a sudden, I was every little piece of sand. I was every drop of water in the ocean. I was every fish. I was every starfish. I was every molecule of the air and the clouds. I was everything.
Right.
And it was like, wow, now I understand. There is nothing that I am not. We are all one.
Right. If people
And
can understand that, no wars.
yeah,
Right.
and even science is proving that now. There is nothing not connected in this whole life. Everything is interconnected. We're all one big vibration going on.
Energy.
And we somehow got disconnected. And we all yearn to have that connection again. And I think one way to do that is to do the meditation every day. And I used to have a lot of people come to me. I used to do 20 minutes and now it's not working. I feel stressed out. And I said, well, it takes you 20 minutes just to relax again so you can do meditation. Start doing an hour. Right. Oh, Dr. Haider, it's working. So then they start doing an hour and everything works out. Oh, thank you. You're right. I had one man call me the other day. He was so stressed out. I thought he was going to take 2 bottles of wine and sit in the corner. Really. It's really, we're overwhelmed with stress now. And people don't think it's going to interact with them in any way. But what you think changes the limbic system in your brain, and that changes the vagus nerve in your whole body, which is from the cervical all the way down through every organ, interacts with every organ in your body, so they're all changed. And we wonder why we're sick.
No, I think I would like to maybe some other day talk to you more about the vagus nerve and how to what kind of exercises and to do. I've started hearing about it or learning about it a lot. So, but
well,
yeah.
one simple thing is to throw cold water on their face. That kind of
Water,
activates the vagus nerve.
Yeah.
Also, meditation, that does it also. If you overwhelm your limbic system, which overwhelms your vagus nerve, it all is a cascading effect. It's like dominoes, going down. And so we have to put the meditation time in, have to eat nutritious food. We have to find some peace inside. If you're peaceful inside, the vagus nerve is operating correctly, the limbic system is operating correctly. You know, you didn't see the Vedics in India having vagus nerve problem. You know? That didn't happen.
True. Yeah, the inner peace, right?
Yeah, you know, look, the Dalai Lama. You know what I mean? We're just like the man puts in a lot of meditation time. You know, I think that's really important. And very peaceful man. I I think it's really we have to go back to some basics.
Right.
And the United States though thinks it's the next pill is going to make them better. No, we are so inclined to watching. You know, I watched regular TV the other day because there was no other TV to watch. Because I was on a plane and I was looking. Wow! Every other ad is some kind of medication.
Medication.
Right. We're bombarded by that. It's terrible.
Quick fix.
And we have the quick fix, and we think that's going to make us better, and that's what Americans want. They want a quick fix, and there is no quick fix. There is. Well, that might take care of the symptoms, just like doctors will give you something for, getting rid of some pain, but that doesn't get rid of the cause of the pain. You know what I mean? We need to start healing the cause. Yeah. And if the cause is that your limbic system's out of whack and your vagus nerve is out of whack, and causing cramping in your legs, we need to deal with that. Yeah. So I think we have to go back to some really basic things here.
Again, thanks a lot, Dr. Haider. Maybe we'll this is very informative at a very high level. And then probably based on the comments I see from people and all, maybe we'll do some more deep dive into some of these.
If they want to call me, they can call me at 831-869-9119. 831-869-9119, or my email address is drpaulhaider, DRPAUL, Haider, HAIDER, @gmail.com.
Sure. And I'll put it in the descriptions also. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'd be happy to talk with them and help them to get healthy. Yeah. It was also my healing journey many, many years ago. You know, I had a high blood pressure, a big prostate, arthritis for 30 years, on and on and on. And I just had to, heal myself,
Right.
So it's important. I can't help anybody if I can't help myself.
Right.
And all healing is self-healing.
Exactly. Right. No. Thank you again for your time, and we'll discuss more next time. Thank you, Dr.
Okay. God bless. Talk soon.